Good afternoon. My name is Michael Bates. I am here with Dr. Hazel-Grace Yates. This is the Bates and Yates Show. I'm a leader of men's work based in Brooklyn, New York, in addition to Tantric Polarity. And Dr. Hazel-Grace,
Yes.
what's your specialty?
Oh boy, I have a lot. But I'm just going to throw out, I'm a sex and intimacy coach and educator. So I work taking groups of people through experiences and working individually and with couples to experience more empowerment, pleasure, connection around sexuality, intimacy, and our bodies.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I have the distinct privilege to be working with you coming up on the 17th here in Brooklyn, along with Amy Silverman.
Mm-hmm.
You're presenting your work, Unzipping the Human Heart. Can you tell us a little bit about it? And specifically, I'm curious to know what prompted you to create this. What did it come out of? Was it a cumulative experience? Was it one thing in particular?
The work originally started with, it's kind of a little bit of a trail, but I can do it fairly quickly. I realized there weren't actually very many places for men to tell their stories, and I wanted to create the Vagina Monologues, but for men. And in order to do that, I invited men to tell their stories and about what it's like to be them regarding their genitals and sexuality, and I invited women to come listen. And the first time I did this in Boulder, 80 people showed up, and men just were sharing their stories, and the women were listening with just like jaw drop, and all these stories and assumptions and stereotypes were just shattered and cleared. And there was this divide that was between the genders was dissipated, and there was connection and recognition of, wow, we are so similar. And so I'd been doing that for years. And then the natural balance of that was, it's so powerful and magical, this process, that people said, well, what about the pussies? I said, yes, what about the pussies? Let's do that. And so I did the process in the opposite order. So we had women in the center and men on the outside, women sharing their stories, men holding space and listening from a place of curiosity. And it's actually what I got my dissertation on, this process that I created. And the one that we're bringing to Brooklyn, we are going to be doing the female in the middle, men on the outside version of it. It's called Unzipping the Female Heart. And that'll be the first half of our day on the 17th. So that's where it came from.
Amazing. Amazing. One last question I have for you. Have you noticed that with having the opposite sex, or people that identify with the opposite sex in the room, I imagine in some regards it could almost make it a little challenging for some people to feel comfortable to share, but in others I could almost see it being a wonderful way of feeling held. Have you noticed anything around that? What do you do, or what have you learned as far as how to really make people comfortable to really share from the fullness of their experience?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because I can imagine there's a lot of people that are afraid if they'll feel safe enough to share and reveal. There's many things that I want to say about that. One, we spend 45 minutes setting the safest possible container, creating really solid agreements, ways of being, and no one has to share anything at any time. A lot of times people will say when they get there, they were not planning to say anything, but by the time we got to the circle share, they felt safe enough. And oftentimes what people experience in the inner circle, the sharing circle, is that we almost forget that the outer circle's there. And I think that there's a couple of reasons that is. There's such a beautiful, strong container that's held, but also what I find, the people that are attracted to do this work are coming from a really loving, solid, honoring place, to even being willing to step into that place to say, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen to what it's like to be you, from a place of care and love. So I don't have another word for it other than it's pure magic, what happens for the inner circle, the outer circle, and the relationship between the inner and the outer circle, or the genders, if you will.
Amazing. Can't even begin to explain how excited I am to be in the room and see this work for the first time, and what an honor to be holding space in that capacity. So
yeah,
you who are interested, please come join us 17th of December here in Brooklyn for Unzipping the Human Heart. And then the second part, we have the Alchemy of Attraction as well. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you.